My name is Mike Brevick. I am the owner of Cyberdogz, and I live in Hawley, Minnesota, but I'm from Twin Valley, Minnesota. And yeah, we're looking at the Cyberdogz edition of 450 Halcyon Janus motorcycle. Cyberdogz is a creative agency. We do a lot of marketing work, but we really focus on the brand, kind of the creativity side, working with clients on everything from website development to brand creation to social media and beyond. My dad, my brothers, we all like muscle cars, modern and older ones, and over the years we've kind of collected and hung on to a few. The star of the fleet is this red 67 Mustang back here I bought when I was 15 years old. It's my first car. I've been on record many times as saying I'm never going to sell it, and so far I haven't. So I think Janus found me, actually. I got served up an ad or something like that kind of led me to, well, what is this? And I clicked on it. And once I kind of pulled at that string, I found this motorcycle company that was just steeped in the nostalgic side of things, and I really enjoy that stuff anyway. So once I started following, it was just kind of an addiction to always kind of look back and kind of look at what you guys were doing and just kind of see how things were evolving for you. And I was probably following you roughly a year and a half to 2 years before an idea kind of came to fruition with a business partner of mine, and the idea was that we're going to reach out to Janus Motorcycle, see if we can strike up a connection and a relationship and possibly throw this idea of doing a custom bike at you guys. And the next day I made a cold call, and it was just a random creepy call of, you know, hey, I'm Mike, you don't know me, but here's the idea, and it went from there. So nostalgia for me is something that, I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I'm sorry, but those are like the best decades for movies, arcades, pop culture, like you name it. Like just some of the coolest things happened when I was a kid. And obviously I've loved that since I was a kid, and I've carried some of those things forward by buying vintage arcade machines and obviously cars and some different things. But when I started my business, it was this idea of branding, and when people first start their business, that's the most in love with their brand they'll ever be, because they're excited about it, they're jazzed up about it, they're starting this company and they're really passionate about the visual and the mission and the core values, and like they're really just psyched about everything that they're doing. And then over time, as a business owner, you take all these hats, right? Now you're the accountant, you're the salesperson, you're HR, you're all these things. And the love and the passion you have for your brand starts to dwindle, and it starts to become a job again, and it starts to kind of wear on you over time. So our approach to that and how we, you know, kind of target our mission on the whole thing is to really create brands and creative that stand out, that keeps you jazzed and excited and fun, but then also to help companies that maybe have hit that 3, 4, 5 year mark where the passion starts to dwindle, and to help them find it again. So to kind of resurface and dig into that nostalgia of when they felt that way. And a lot of the examples that I use with clients, and even illustrating that point to people on my podcast and whatnot, is, you know, remembering back the smell of a new car when you first got it, or, you know, even when I drive my Mustang back here, I remember what it felt like the first couple times I ever drove it. You know, I remember what it felt like driving it before I even fixed it up out on these gravel roads. So just that idea of kind of hanging on to some of that nostalgia, I think, is important, and I think it kind of keeps that fire and that passion alive. For me, it's about finding the things that I'm excited about. So for clients, for me, it's learning what they're excited about and trying to bring that into the brand so they have the same experience that I do when I deal with stuff like this. You know, it's a meshing and a coming together of those interests to try to blow somebody's mind. Like I love building out a brand and building out a logo to the point where when we deliver the results, the client's speechless. Just getting an approval or getting, yeah, that we can roll with that, to me, that's okay, but I really like just blowing their minds. Like I like coming up with something that's so cool that they couldn't even have thought, you know, that would have been possible. This whole experience is really fresh, so this is probably one of the biggest, most fun projects I've ever been a part of, but I like seeing how brands can translate into other things. I like seeing how logos and brands can be represented on hockey jerseys versus old school gas pumps versus billboards versus, I just like to see how you can manipulate the elements of a brand to create something that reflects it in a different way. And stuff like this, like doing a Cyberdogz inspired motorcycle is kind of that concept, where we obviously have this beautiful Janus motorcycle, but what happens when you apply the Cyberdogz orange? What happens when you know, look at all the little details and put the logos and like these different things to just see if you can't create some kind of brand representation around it. I've done that several times throughout the last 9 years with the Cyberdogz brand. Never really thought I would go this far with it, but now that we have, like, it's super cool, and I'm pumped to kind of show this to clients and show how far you can go with it. Because I think most people, when they create their own business, their own brand or whatnot, they don't envision it to be this big. They're thinking about polo shirts and business cards, letterheads. That's kind of as far as their imagination goes. So to be able to show them something this big and to explain it, because I'm going to get a lot of, well, why would you do that? I'm going to get a lot of that, and to be able to talk them through why that's cool is just going to be fun, fun conversation. We had a working model coming from having done the Milwaukee bike, and the process of kind of like, well, how do we, use that as a baseline and convert it to the Cyberdogz brand was pretty easy, because Janus has a very easy ordering process and a very smooth process there. There are several safer ways I think we could have gone with it. The black, the matte black, the silver, you guys have a really nice cream color. Like, there's a lot of different ways I think this could have gone, and it would have turned out just as nice. I just felt like they were a little too safe, and I wanted it to be somewhat loud, because I like loud cars, and I like things that kind of create an impact and turn some heads. So the little boy in me got the best of me when I was making the choices, because there was a side of me that was like, just go traditional, go safe, go normal. And then, yeah, I just kind of couldn't take it. I'm like, nah, let's just go orange, let's go loud, let's make a statement with it so it looks like Cyberdogz. When we chose the color orange, I really didn't intend for it to match my Challenger that closely, but I didn't really know what it would look like. So we just chose an orange, and to some degree it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But when we unloaded it and actually rolled it in here and kind of parked them next to each other, it's pretty eerie how close they are in color, and it's almost an exact match, which just makes it cooler, honestly. For right now, I mean, I definitely am just going to polish it and look at it a little bit, but living in rural Minnesota, I mean, I just want to take it out for cruises and rambles, and just kind of put some miles on it, and just kind of have some fun with it. I mean, I'm not really an aggressive, I don't see myself riding to Sturgis on it anytime soon, but taking it out and just kind of having a good time with it, and just kind of having a toy is going to be kind of fun.